I'm Olivia Steele, and welcome to My Niche is Nursing. Today we're going to talk about something very important in nursing, something we got taught from day one, something crucial, something that everybody has, something that you guys are going to be exposed to. What should I call it? The one thing that grosses you out. That is literally the only way I can describe it. Basically, our lecturer told us that there will always be the one thing that you find very difficult to overcome. For a friend of mine, that's breast milk. For another friend of mine, that's pus. For me, it was something different. And actually, I have a story on how I overcame my gross thing. And it's a gross story. But first of all, it's important to say, you will have a thing that grosses you out and you may find it difficult to deal with. It may be the smell, the look, the idea, anything. That's okay. The important thing is you need to stay professional. If you don't like pus and a patient has a wound, you undress it and there is a lot of pus, you can't throw up next to them. It doesn't look good and it can make the patient feel more uncomfortable than they already are. You don't want to look bad, let's face it. Nobody wants to look bad in placement in front of patients or their mentors. So keep your chin up and keep going. The more exposure you get, the better and the easier you will find it. And if you really feel like you can't deal with it, or if you feel a bit queasy, just make an excuse to leave. As long as the patient is safe and happy, that's fine. But you can't avoid it forever. Just bear with it, you can do it. I'm gonna share how I got over mine. I'm not saying this is the way to get over it, because honestly, I'd have preferred to have done it a different way. So the story begins. I used to work at an SEN school. For those of you that don't know, that is a specialist educational needs school. I worked with some amazing children who taught me more about myself than I probably taught them. One of my classes had a little boy in it. He had bowel problems. My thing is, or was, should I say, the smell of diarrhea. My thing of diarrhea didn't last very long. By the end of the year, I was so used to his bowel movements that they really didn't touch me, which is good for me. But there was one time in the year that will probably never leave me. Before I tell you this, I hope this doesn't happen to anybody. So this little boy, I loved him, had to have two people take him to the toilet because hands. Me and a colleague took him to the toilet. We're gloved up, hair tied up, got aprons on. She was top end, I was bottom end. Fine. I'm cleaning him, it's all going well. And I've run out of wipes. So I open my mouth to speak. I'm trying to say, can you pass me the wipes, please? I go, "Kah," and he farts. Unfortunately for me, there is still a little bit of poo over his bum. Basically, what happened next wasn't pretty. The poo over his bum flicked across me while my mouth was in the "Kah" position. I had poo across me like that. Where the apron was remained clean, but I had it splattered in all the bits the apron didn't cover. I had poo in my hair. I had poo on my face. I had it in my mouth. It was on my nose, I could smell it, but worst of all, it was in my mouth. I was traumatized. But the thing is, as I said, the most important thing was to remain professional. If I had just left, that would have left my colleague alone with him, which would have left him unsafe because he would have been on the bed with just one person. If I'd have had a mental breakdown, the poor kid would have been absolutely mortified. And it just wouldn't have done for me to just stand there and cry or moan or whinge. So, being professional, I looked at my colleague completely understood, called for help. When help arrived, I took off the apron and the gloves, threw them away. I did kind of walk out with my mouth like this because I didn't want. Yeah, I was given some time to go and sort myself out, shower, get changed. I used a lot of mouthwash, but the important thing was I was professional. To be fair, there were two good things that came out of that. I got over my I hate the smell of diarrhea because tasting it was a lot worse. And when people say to me, ugh, this tastes like shit, I can actually turn around and say, no it doesn't. I'm sorry if that grossed anybody out, but try living it, okay? To conclude, stay professional. If you can't deal with it, just say. They would much rather you said something than carried on and fainted. Exposure is key. The more you're exposed to it, the better and easier it's gonna get. That's pretty much it. If you have any questions, if you want to respond to my gross video, if you've had any worse experiences than me, let me know. Tweet me. Have a good day, guys. Bye!